fragrance lover. Brooklyn fragrance lover. Brooklyn fragrance lover.
What's up, Fragrant family? This is Tyler with Simply Fragrances, and today I'm bringing you a top 10 video. But first, man, as you can tell from the intro video, man, we lost a legend. We lost a giant in the fragrance community, and it has literally shook the fragrance community upside down. In a weird sense, in a good way, because it reveals how much, we stick together, and it reveals kind of how much of a family that we really are whenever, one of the pioneers, so to speak, passes on, that everyone comes together and like pitching in money for the funeral and all these other different things. Man, it's a beautiful sight in retrospect for what happened. But man, make no mistake, it is devastated me. It's a shock. Like, I couldn't believe it. My buddy, he texted me. He was like, man, like, did he really pass? And I was like, what are you talking about? And so, he's shared the Facebook link, and man, sure enough, Carlos had passed. And so I hope I didn't offend anybody. Hope I didn't step on any toes by playing his intro video at the first. But I wanted to give my own dedication, my own tribute to him. And he really helped shape and mold me, for what I was going to be in the fragrance community. Brought a lot of different things to my radar, brought a lot of good content, and I really looked up to him. Unfortunately, I never got the chance to meet him in person, which really, man, it bums me out, because, man, screw COVID. Because, like, man, I had plans to go in 2020 to Saint Explore to try and meet him and a couple others, like Kubanos and Steve from Redolescence, some of the other big timers. But I was really looking forward to meeting Carlos from Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, because just the passion and just the way he makes you feel like a close friend, a family member, just welcomes you in. Just even in his videos, man, it just speaks to his character. So I had to give him just a shout out. I had to pay him a tribute. And so again, hope I didn't offend anybody by playing his intro or anything like that. It was just the only way I could really think of just giving him a tribute. So like I said, guys, this is going to be a top 10 video, so let's go ahead and get into this. But like I said, my condolences and my prayers are with Carlos's family and his friends and his loved ones. Definitely praying for you guys, and gonna continue to do so. So let's go ahead and get into this, guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead, hit the red subscribe button. That really does help me out. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I just want honest feedback. So let's go ahead, man. Let's try and bring up the energy. Let's try and bring up the positivity. It's always kind of hard talking about those things, but man, it's so crazy that someone you've never met before can make such an impact on your life. So I'm still a little bit tore up by it, and it almost feels weird. Like, I don't know if anyone else on here watches this, any other reviewers. Man, did it feel weird for you guys to like go into where your fragrances are, look at them, and it's just like, man, like, Carlos taught me about that one, or Carlos loved this one, or it just felt weird, almost like it was like this weird, like, the spot missing or something. It's like having him not around, it's like almost weird to like enjoy these whenever he taught us about him. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but there's several colognes that I watched reviews on him, and I was just like, man, like, he taught me about that. It's so crazy. So anyways, all right, guys, let's go ahead, get this energy pumped up, positivity. Let's bring this. So as you can tell from this video, this is going to be a top 10 video. This is going to be, my top 10 fragrances to wear on Valentine's Day. I do have 4 honorable mentions. Sorry, I had to look to see what I got. I do have 4 honorable mentions, and these are in no particular order. As I've said many times, I suck at making top 10 videos when it comes to like categorizing. Oh, this one's number 3, and this one's 7, and this one is 4. Like, I can't do that, because it changes on my mood, it changes on the occasion, on the season. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things. So if they're in the top 10, these are the top 10s that I would recommend. Not really one in front of the other. Yeah, per se. I mean, maybe like there's one that I would say this is probably the quintessential, but other than that, I mean, no top 10. So let's go ahead and bust these out first. So the first honorable mention, and the only reason why it's an honorable mention is because I've only worn it a couple times. I haven't got too familiar with it, but it does give off a great date night fragrance. It does give off a good, just like warm, cozy, you know, kind of let's snuggle up and watch a movie or go on a date, dinner kind of vibe. And this is Armani Code Parfumo. Now, this is just a really great, like I said, kind of dark, almost like chocolatey vibe that I get in the opening. And then the dry down, it dries down to almost like a root beer note. And I know that sounds super strange, but there's this sweet root beer kind of caramely vibe to it, and it's actually really, really good. On my skin, I actually prefer this in the air. I don't like the way it smells off of my skin, but as I catch a whiff of it through the air, I really enjoy it, and my wife actually really enjoys it. So who knows, for Valentine's Day, this might be, you know, one that I wear, who knows. But at the first honorable mention spot, Armani Code Parfumo. At the number 2 honorable mention spot, this one is really great, I think, because it's, you know, around Valentine's Day. We're still in February, so it could be kind of warm, it could be kind of cool, or it could be kind of a mix. And so I wanted to bring something out that be kind of in that mix realm, but it's still sweet, it's still fresh, and it just gives a great cozy warm feeling. And this is Hugo Boss bottle number 6, and man, I freaking love this stuff. This is, man, just a warm apple pie with some citrus in there in the opening. As it dries down, it just smells clean and fresh. A little bit of spice in there, and that cinnamon apple pie in here just is to die for. Almost gourmand-like, if you ask me. Really, really enjoy this stuff, and the wife really likes this stuff too. Really good, because you can spray it kind of heavy, not really worry about offending anybody, and you're gonna get the compliments, and you're gonna get noticed. So Hugo Boss bottle number 6. Now, at the number 3 honorable mention spot, the only reason why this is number 3 as an honorable mention is just because, man, it just gives off a fall vibe to me. It really does. Kind of gives more like a fall winter vibe, but with it being kind of cool outside, I figured that'd be good. But I don't necessarily think of Valentine's Day when I smell this, but it's a very, 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 very good date night fragrance, and you're gonna get the compliments, you're gonna get noticed, and it's a great like close scent fragrance. And so I had to go with Mont Blanc Legend Night. This stuff, man, just warm honey, tobacco, just there's a little bit of a freshness in there, just a tad bit in there when you very first spray. I don't know if there's a citrus note in there or whatnot, but just gives off a little bit of a freshness when you first spray it. But man, it dries down, just this warm honey, tobacco fragrance, and it's absolutely to die for. Definitely in my top 10 favorites for fall. Love this stuff, and it's cheap too. All right, guys, and the last honorable mention. The only reason why this is an honorable mention is because I'm just not the biggest fan of blue fragrances. I'm not, but I know that they do their job. They get you noticed, and they smell fresh, smell clean. This one, it smells very manly and masculine, but at the same time, it's got a classy scent to it. It's got a just a sophistication to it, if you will. And man, I had to go with Versace Dylan Blue. This stuff is a powerhouse. Man, like 3 sprays and you're good. I promise you, you don't need to do more than that, especially if you're going to be in close quarters, going to like a restaurant or a movie or whatnot. I don't even know if movies are open because of COVID, but if you're going to be in close proximities with one another, this stuff is definitely going to get you noticed. If you're going to smell fresh, clean, like I said, very masculine, got that kind of fresh shower jelly, just kind of spicy vibes to it, and it's very, very, very good. So I just personally not the biggest blue fan. I don't know, I just never have been, but I'm working on it. So this was also given to me by my cousin Chad. So Chad, thank you, man, appreciate it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this top 10. Like I said, these are in no particular order. Take them as you will. If some of these make your top 10 or if some of these wouldn't be, hey, that's cool. I'm just giving you my thoughts. So let's go ahead. At the number 10 spot, not necessarily, like I said, ranked in order. Man, I've talked about this so much. This is, like I said, how a gentleman, sophisticated gentleman should be presented. Not necessarily like old man or classy or anything like that. Just a well put together, you know, it's a great office scent, but I think it's a quintessential Valentine's Day fragrance. And you can spray heavy and it's not going to offend, because this sets very close to the skin, and it's a very good cuddle up on the couch, watch a movie type scent. This is John Varvatos, however you want to say it, tomato. But man, this stuff is just super unique. Nothing else really smells like it. It's kind of like a fresh, spicy, coriander, just type vibe to it. I don't know. It's very good. Cardamom, not coriander. Sorry, but just very good, fresh. Like I said, spicy. Really great for close encounters, because you're not going to offend anybody. It has a good, clean smell to it. All right, guys. So at the number, actually, this is the next one on the list. I'm choosing this one, but the two alternatives, which you'll know what I'm talking about in a second, you could also wear and it would do wonders. This had to be included. George, I love you, man. This stuff, man, Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. I love this stuff. Classic fougere type fragrance, got that classic gentleman type vibe to it, but this has a pear note in here that's just amazing. The lavender in here is amazing. It's got myrrh, and it just, oh man, so good. But the other two flankers, you could definitely use as well. The Signature Royale and the Signature Noir, both very good. Same DNA, but the Royale's got the apple and the Noir's got kind of like a blue kind of vibe to it. But Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. All right, guys. Now, next on the list, let's go. I'm gonna go with this one, man. This one had to be on the list. Like, if this wasn't on the list, it wouldn't be a top 10 video. I wouldn't be a fragrance enthusiast. I wouldn't know what I'm talking about, in my own personal opinion. Man, Tom Ford Oud Wood, like this stuff, boy, oh boy. Oh, man, this is just classic, just smooth, creamy oud with, man, just like, oh man, just woody dry down, just kind of, oh man, oh, so good. Sorry, this is like just an amazing oud fragrance. If you're not familiar with oud and you want to kind of, you know, dip your toes into it, this is a great starting point. Like I said, it's got the oud, it's got the wood, it's got, almost to me on my skin, there's like a slight hint of, like, there's just like, I pick up a vanilla note. I don't know if it's in there or not. I'll have to look up the notes later. But man, this stuff is so seductive, so smooth, so sophisticated. This stuff definitely had to be on the list. This will get you compliments. This, man, this will get you the ladies. I'm telling you, this stuff right here, this is good. Tom Ford Oud Wood. All right, guys. Now, next on the list, this one is no surprise. I'm sure this is going to make a lot of top 10 videos. I'm sure this is on almost everyone's list, at least it should be. Man, this is La Nuit de l'Homme, not Yves Saint Laurent. Man, this stuff is fresh, it's powdery. The cardamom in here is just to die for. It's got a little bit of a freshness to it, but really it's just all about that smooth, creamy cardamom with some powdery notes in there. Man, it's so good. Like, this stuff has taken the world by storm. It's not quite what it used to be. Back in like the 2010, 2013 versions, they're a lot more powerful. They lasted a lot longer, but this stuff, it still gets the job done, and my wife really enjoys it. So definitely had to be on the list. Now, let's go here. Let's do this bad boy. This one's relatively new to my collection. You might have seen my reviews on it, but if not, you might have never even heard of it. This is gonna be from the house of EBK Paris. This is Ruby and Vanilla Intense. And just as the name suggests, this is a very like vanillic intense fragrance. You get a lot of like citrus powdery notes in the opening, and then as it dries down, you get the sweet, warm, kind of spicy, woody vanilla, and man, it just fills the room. Like 2 sprays on this and you're absolutely good, especially if you're going to be anywhere in close proximity with another. This one will get the job done, and you're going to smell sweet, you're going to smell fresh, kind of powdery, woody vanilla dry down. This stuff is absolutely to die for. But like I said, be careful on the trigger on this. I've had this for a couple months now, and you can see like it's still almost the top, because I only have to do like 2 sprays, and this stuff does last forever. All right, guys, so we're getting down to to the last 5. So I think, yes, let's go ahead and do this one, man. This had to be on the list. It's so unique. There's nothing really else that smells like it. It's very light, crisp, powdery, very powdery actually. If you're a neroli fan, this stuff had to be on the list. And this just smells like a well-dressed, put together man. I just envision like a white button-up shirt with a tie, some nice slacks, and he means business. And he's gonna get noticed when he wears Amouage Reflection, man. This stuff is a gem. Oh, man, it has this sophistication about it. There's just this, you mean business when you wear this stuff. Man, I can't believe I gave this up, and I had to buy it back. This stuff is so good. So like I said, very powdery, very citrusy in the opening. As it dries down, you get this beautiful neroli notes with the powdery, just this creamy powderiness, and it is absolutely to die for. Had to be on the list. Amouage Reflection, man. If you haven't smelled this stuff, highly recommend getting your nose on it. Alright guys, down to this hot 4. I'm gonna go ahead and bust this out. This had to be on the list just because, man, you mean business when you wear this. You feel like the man, you feel like the CEO, you feel like you're just going into that date and you're gonna take charge. She's gonna know that you're important. And when you bust the king out, man, you're gonna get the compliments. You're gonna get noticed. Now, this might seem a little weird for Valentine's Day because it's kind of more of a summery time fragrance. But man, if you get a good, well-balanced batch like this is a 19 PO1, very heavy pineapple in the opening, but as it dries down, you get that black currant in there, and it just kind of gives this smoky vibe. And man, the sillage that this stuff leaves is to die for. I've gotten a couple compliments on this, and man, it's not whenever I'm like walking right by them. It's whenever I've passed them and I'm a good, probably 2 or 3 feet away from them. That scent trail comes by, and I've had people stop me and say, "Hey man, you smell good. Hey bro, you smell good." This stuff, you mean business when you wear this. Creed Vinces, just smoky pineapple magic is what this is. All right, guys. Now down to the last 3. I had to put this guy in here. There's no better leather fragrance in the game, in my personal opinion. I know Tom Ford Tuscan leather, it's the rank superior. All this stuff for me, Parfums de Marley Godolphin. This is the perfect leather fragrance. If you wear this and you are dressed up, got the hair slicked back, you got a nice little beard going on, and you guys go out for a date, go out for dinner, or if you're just kicking it at home and you're kind of dressing up, this stuff is going to do the trick for you, man. It opens up with that beautiful leather note, and there's not any kind of citrus notes listed, but I definitely get a raspberry vibe from this. And as it dries down, it's just this smooth, creamy leather with just this raspberry undertone that is just absolutely to die for. My wife actually kind of enjoys this one, but this is kind of maybe for like, not the older crowd, but I definitely wouldn't be like 17 wearing this. So, but that's just me. You can wear whatever you want, whenever you want. I would definitely say this ranks more 25 and up, so to speak, but that's just my own personal opinion. Parfums de Marley Godolphin. Now these last 2, this one had to be in here. I absolutely adore this scent, man. This stuff it's sweet, it's woody, there's a little bit of a freshness to it. It smells like burnt cotton candy, and you probably know what I'm talking about, man. Baccarat Rouge 540. This stuff, there's nothing else that smelled like this before this came. So whenever this came out, man, this really kind of captivated the world, the fragrance world, and this stuff is just absolutely to die for. Like I said, it's known as like the burnt sugar or cotton candy fragrance. It's a very unique and kind of really hard scent to describe, but it's just very sweet, woody. There's a freshness about it. There's a little bit of a citrus, and you get this jasmine in here, and it's absolutely to die for. The sillage on this is like none other. I've never had another fragrance that leaves a scent trail like this. It is just, man, to die for. Baccarat Rouge 540. If you haven't smelled it, definitely get you a bottle, get you a sample. It's not cheap, but man, it's worth every single penny, every single drop. You gotta get this stuff. All right, guys, so the last one on the list, and I kind of chose it for this just because it's cliche. Let's be honest. You haven't seen it yet. You're like, man, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Everyone else has had it. Where's it at? Don't worry, I got you guys covered. Dolce & Gabbana, the one EDP, man. Just this sweet honey and tobacco with basil in there, a little bit of a citrus in the like orange peel in the opening. But man, it's this stuff right here. I call this my James Bond scent. This is how, man, you're supposed to smell like this on Valentine's Day. Let's just be real. This, you're suave, you're dressed up to the nines, you got your suit on, you got your blazer on, you got, I mean, just your best on. You're going out for dinner, you walk by someone, and they just, man, they know that you're the man when you wear Dolce & Gabbana, the one. This had to be on the list, and I saved it for last, kind of on purpose because it's cliche, but at the same time, it's called the one for a reason. This it's one of my favorite tobacco fragrances, if not my all-time favorite tobacco fragrance. It's just to die for. Man, if you haven't smelled this, get out from the rock that you're living under, because man, this stuff is super, super good. I gotta give it a spray actually. Man, just absolutely to die for. So Dolce & Gabbana, the one, EDP. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Sorry it was kind of a long video. Sorry the energy was maybe a little weird, but just, you know, still in shock. But you know, we're gonna move forward, and definitely gonna have Carlos always in our thoughts and our prayers. And man, just such a tragedy. But alright guys, that's gonna do it. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead, hit that red subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and I'll catch you guys next time. Remember, if you love it, wear it.